It seemed impossible when I started this project, and yet we are already at Bruno's tower, the highest room in Casita. Yesterday, I finally figured out where Mirabel's room is located, and I just laughed out in utter irony of the situation. I originally thought Mirabel's room is the third floor on Isabela's tower. I was confused as to how to climb up to that room because there was no obvious door that leads up to that room. And then I finally figured out that Isabela is using both floors of the purple tower. Mirabel's room is the room right above the front gate. We already made that room. At the time when I was building that room, I said, I have no idea what that room is. Mirabel's room is the most obvious one. It's front and center of the house. And yet, I was thinking, that can't be Mirabel's room. I have no idea why Mirabel's room was so invisible to me, even though it was so obviously on the front. The window was pink, not exactly a color someone could miss. My eyes were gravitating toward the big, magnificent, and beautiful structures around her room. All of the towering structures were making Mirabel's room look smaller and insignificant. Is this how we end up ignoring people, even without realizing it? Mirabel always had been on the center of my attention. She's the main character of this story, and yet she still managed to escape my attention. There is something a lot to be said about how somebody goes invisible even when standing right before our eyes. On the opposite side of this perception is Bruno's tower. It is the highest tower in Casita. The family thought Bruno did not live there. I don't know how someone could miss Bruno even though he's walking around the house. He was given the highest tower, quite possibly the largest space in Casita, and yet he chose to live in between the walls. That has to be a metaphor for something. You can't live in between walls in most normal houses. I still don't know if there is a meaning in Bruno's tower being so high, but Julieta's room practically being invisible down on the first floor. Actually, we don't know where Julieta's room is. We know where her door is, but we never got to see her room. I'm assuming it is on the first floor, on the back of the house. Ironically, Julieta is one of the most visible person in this household. First, I created a hallway in between Luisa's door and Julieta's door. If you turn right into the hallway next to Luisa's room, there is a small staircase that I think will climb up to Bruno's tower. We will come back and make the staircase and Bruno's door later. His door is the only one that is hidden and located away from the other doors. Mirabel's door does not light up, but at least hers is at the center along with everyone else's doors. The bottom floors are dark green. The wall of the main tower is light green with 4 pillars. There are starry looking holes at the top, both on the front and back walls. They have 4 metal bars crisscrossing each hole. There is a half ellipsoid looking groove on the front and back of the tower. There is a decorative board below this ellipsoid groove. It is made of metal, maybe copper. I thought maybe it's a clock, but it doesn't have enough hours. It is also not fully circular, so maybe it's not a clock. It's just a decorative board. An insect may be sculpted on the board. I thought maybe it could be a butterfly, seeing as how central it is to the theme of this movie, but the wings don't look like a butterfly, so I just made 3 elongated ellipses on the center and 6 ellipses that spread out like insect wings. The top floor of the tower has a room with orange walls with green tiles. There are 2 wooden windows and 2 vent holes. And then finally, I added a decorative lightning rod on the roof. Next, we will finish the 3rd floor of Isabela's tower, which I thought was Mirabel's room. That turns out to be not. And then let's get Luisa's room done too, even though her room is invisible from the front.